These guys like making it look nice. I know it's been a long time since I did any video, but we're back. Hopefully this will be a good one. We're at Outlaw Armageddon with Troy in the red Mustang he calls Roxanne. It's been a fight with this car. I'm not gonna bore you with the long intro and explanation or anything like that. We'll just get right into it. So last night we were getting the car ready after a lot of issues with the motor. Finally got it back. Nick slapped it in, and we scrambled out here to make some passes. We got 2 test passes, and then we go right into rounds the following day. So gotta really make the best of these 2 test passes. But first, take a look at how it went last night. Got Dustin and the dudes getting Troy's car back together. This thing did not have a motor, what, like 4 hours ago? About 4 hours ago, nothing was in this engine bay.
Yeah, it was all in pieces, and the motor was in the back of a truck.
Yep. So, and then an hour before that, the motor was at Gary Oak's shop getting freshened up. I don't know if I mentioned this in a previous video or not, but we had we made a couple of passes on this motor. This was a used motor. He got it from somebody. It was supposed to be, you know, ready to go. And it, I mean, I guess was to a certain extent. We were able to put it in the car, start it up. We made a bunch of passes. It went relatively fast. And then we we kept breaking rockers. We had a couple of issues. And then one pass after it broke a rocker real bad, or broke multiple rockers on the same pass. From then on, we could not get the damn thing to get on the brake. So they went through everything. I mean, the transmission, the converter, we were trying different calibrations. We were trying all sorts of stuff, like every single thing. Yeah, dump valves too, I forgot about that. Like, sent those off, like everything got sent off and looked at, and nothing was, you know, nothing looked bad as far as that goes. Yeah. And even the compression test that we did, like, it wasn't all that bad, at least, you know, we thought. But finally, after all of the other things were checked, we were like, all right, it's gotta be something with the motor. So we sent the motor off. Gary took a look at it, and there was a bunch of things going on with it. A lot of it needed freshening up. You know, everything from, there was a crack in one of the runners, it had bent valves, none of the valves sealed up all that great. What was that? There was a bunch of problems. So all of that got freshened up. I didn't think we were going to Armageddon. I didn't think we were going to be able to make it, but Gary got it together, got the heads fixed, got the motor all buttoned back up, got it over here, and they shoved it in.
Got
so
the head to ferry fixed.
That's right. Yeah, I wasn't too sure who did the head stuff. So Ferry, you said?
Ferry got us taken care of.
So yeah, it's all back together now. Compression test already looks better. We're gonna start it up, get it warm, and do a compression test again, see what it looks like. Biggest thing is getting up on the brake. We could not. I mean, it took 14 seconds. I don't know if I have a clip of it. If I do, I'll insert it right here. I mean, forever to get on the brake. So we're hoping that was due to all the issues with the motor. So yeah. Oh, and we got a new turbo in here. We haven't used this either. So in classic fashion of this car, we have changed. Oh, we didn't end up actually changing the injectors. We were going to. We were going to have a set of, who makes those? They're like 500cc injectors, or 500-pound injectors.
They're big. They got dump valves for solenoids.
So yeah, so eventually we're gonna go to a set of the 210s like we have in there right now, and then a set of 500 pounds. And so we shouldn't have any fuel issues anymore. We should have enough fuel to max out that turbo, which is now a 110, and it should be way different than the 106. We had a Precision 106 on there before, and we maxed that thing out. I think it only ended up providing about 36 pounds on this combination, and it was done. That was all it could do. So this should do a lot more than that turbo will do. So Problem is, we're kind of starting from scratch on power control and everything. We don't know how much this is going to make per pound. We know it can do more boost than those injectors will be able to support. So we have to be, you know, kind of cautious with that. It's going to be, hopefully, totally different motor performance, totally different turbo performance. And now we are going to have more setup than we have fuel for. So, you know, why make it easy? Power shouldn't be an issue. I think, you know, on that surface, there's only so much we'll be able to apply out there. It gets pretty slick, especially in the heat of the day. So we'll see, but
that's where you earn your keep.
Yeah, exactly. I got to try to tame this thing, and we got to try to make the chassis work good enough to give us mechanical grip. Because, I mean, ideally, we want to put as much power into it as possible, but you can only put in what you have mechanical grip for. So ideally we want to get as much mechanical grip as we can get and have the power not be higher than that threshold. That's all we can ask for. So we'll see how it goes. You got fuel pressure while you're cranking.
What is it? What is fuel lines are pissing.
Oh yeah. These things, they happen. Seems like with every car, like if you see in videos where like everything goes perfect, it's because they already went through this stuff before they started videoing. Like he told me to. He's like, don't do it until we know it's running. Usually you wait for that.
But then you miss stuff like this.
Yeah,
you
exactly.
Miss the learning of watch for under the car.
Yeah,
Okay,
just fast
good.
forward to the good shit for me.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Watch how long that thing spins.
Yeah, I was gonna say can't rev too much because the valves are real tight, right?
Ladies and gentlemen, she's baggy crisp.
Yes.
Hello. Bro. Let's go! Finally. Throw everything in the fucking trailer, let's go.
Yes.
Awesome. Okay. Good.
I told you she's gonna be back.
That's more like it. And that was cold too.
Yeah, it was. It was literally...
I thought he was gonna wait a little while. Nope, right on it. Ready to go make some noises?
Let's do it.
We're gonna use like 400 RPM less, but we know we can get there.
So apparently Wiley's Canada won.
They get in the car all prettied up. Something that I don't really take much appreciation of is having the car look nice. These guys like making it look nice. Mine always looks like a piece of crap, so I don't have to worry about keeping it clean, but these guys like keeping it look nice. And it sucks because I'm always sweaty as shit around the car, and every time I touch it, I know I'm just like
Gobbing it up.
putting fingerprints and arm marks all over it. I feel bad, but that's okay because Troy will be right back with that spray and making it clean again.
Just so you know, it's the hot sauce.
Is that?
Okay? It's the hot sauce.
It's a good shit.
It's good shit. It's a boater's trick.
It smells weird.
Like vinegar.
Yeah.
Yes.
I guess that's the secret sauce. Yeah, so anyway, you guys saw how it went last night. Hopefully everything goes good today. We made quite a few changes. You know, obviously we talked about all the motor stuff from yesterday, but we made a big change on the front suspension. So normally for radial track, we have this car limited to only going up probably about a ½ an inch, maybe a little bit more than that, 3/4 of an inch at most. And the suspension's always really tight as well. But now we have the limiters off so we can get the full stroke of the shock. It's a couple of inches of travel versus the, you know, ½ an inch that we normally go up. And we loosened it a decent amount, so it should come up quick. What we're expecting is we got low level of grip, and so we're gonna wanna transfer as much weight as early as possible to get some more weight on the rear so that hopefully we can add some more power. We also made a change in the rear since we know that the tire isn't gonna be, you know, it's gonna be tough to get it to bite initially. Whereas like a sticky track, normally it's just so damn sticky that, you know, it's gonna grip and then the suspension gets to, you know, do what it's supposed to do when we apply power. But out here, there's not gonna be as much grip. We still want that thing to separate and actually utilize that tire because we're gonna be trying this on a radial. We're gonna be doing some no prep on a radial. You've seen me try it on the truck. I mean, I don't know, we've had some decent luck with them, so we're gonna try it with this car as well. But what we wanna do is take less, or have less resistance in the suspension actually separating. So we want to be able to drive the tire into the ground easier. So it should take less power to separate than it did previously because we softened up the rebound on those. So I don't know how it's going to work out. Hopefully it works out great. You know, we got it softened up a little bit in power as well so that just we don't blow the tires off. But this car really, it's, you know, turning it down is relatively tough. I think it's still going to go relatively fast. So as long as we don't blow tires right off the hit, it should give us some really good data. You ready to go?
Yes, sir.
All right. Let's do it up. And he put us on bare concrete.
I was shot out of a cannon.
Hopefully you can hear me. Day 2, we managed to get 2 test passes yesterday. Neither of them went great, as you can see there. So the first pass, I don't know, there was a combination of stuff that was going on there. So first of all, we wanted to line him up, because it'll be tough to see in the video, but there are some big bare spots that are normally the groove, but the groove on this kind of surface is bare concrete. So we wanted to stagger him off to the side so that he actually left in rubber. And the amount that we staggered him, Nick was lining him up and I was telling him which way to go. And one of the guys there, I mean, I'm not gonna specify who it was, but somebody there basically yelling at us, saying, oh, you're gonna, telling us that we were too far over, or to move him back over. And you know, the amount that he was yelling, and we looked and it was, you know, not just some random person. And so we were like, oh, okay, maybe he sees something that we don't. And so we moved him over into what was the bare concrete. And of course it spun immediately. You know, it may, even if we were in the rubber, it may have spun anyway, with the amount of power that we had into it, but we would have had a chance to hopefully get that initial bite and let the suspension do its work if we were at least on rubber. So that was kind of a useless test. You know, we're never gonna line ourselves up on that bare stuff. And so it ended up not really giving us a whole lot of useful information. So then on the second pass, we moved him to where we wanted it to be in, and it was a lot grippier in that area, but we took power out based on how it did on the first pass. So inevitably, we took way too much power out. And so it bogged, you know, we left real slow. So we ended up, you know, just kind of going lazy out there. And then when it finally picked up, you know, it did well. But at the top of each of the times that he pedaled, it was starting to shake the tires a little bit.
That's what we needed.
So what we're worried about on today is if the track's a little similar, when we get that little bit amount of wheel speed, when we're on the threshold of the tire, the radials tend to want to shake, and he's going to let out when it shakes. If it was spinning, if he was just carrying some wheel speed, that's a different story, but because it was shaking, he didn't want to break anything, so he let out. So in order to make things as difficult on us as it normally is, because we always show up with like new stuff, change stuff, different motor, different turbo, stuff like that, we decided to make it even more difficult on ourselves and switch to a slick.
Hell yes.
So now, you know, we introduced another variable, but we think it might actually help us out. The slicks themselves, contact patch, are about 1/4 of an inch each tire, larger contact patch than the radials. So we hope that we have a little bit more mechanical grip there They are a little bit softer though, so then we have to worry about, are we gonna crush the tire with the suspension settings that we have? So needless to say, there's a bunch of variables still. We're targeting kind of in the middle between the two passes on launch RPM and launch boost. We made some shock changes. You know, we didn't make a bar change. That's about the only thing that we didn't change, is the bar change. So I don't know. We really have no idea what it's going to do. Hopefully we can get a little bit of wheel speed on the slicks, but it doesn't carry. We made a big change to how much the traction control is actually going to step in when it starts seeing a little bit too much wheel speed. So hopefully all of that stuff wrangles it in so that, you know, if it takes the power, it'll take it, and if it doesn't, it'll still allow him to stay full throttle and have it automatically recovered. That's what we're hoping. If these spin, we're hoping for a smooth spin instead of it shaking the tire. The only thing is, what we think will be a smoother spin up top, we're worried that down low, if we crush the tire, it'll shake. So, just a lot of pros and cons. We're going to try to balance between the two and, you know, make a guess. This is going to be the third pass of this car on a surface anywhere close to this. So, it's going to be a bunch of guesses anyway. We'll see how it goes. It's hot. It's really hot. But I did not get video of this pass. Hopefully I can have somebody's like cell phone video or something to show how it did. Somebody's got to send me the cell phone video of, you got a good video of it, didn't you? Send that to me, because I didn't take any video. I was trying to concentrate on the car, but it did good. We were a little bit worried about the track getting too hot. It started getting really warm outside. Sun was beating down on the track, so we thought it would be really, really loose. So we took a bunch of RPM out, big old timing retard in it. But we made a mistake, or well, Troy made a mistake. He actually forgot to turn all of his switches on. So like normally in the burnout, he has a burnout rev limiter on, and that keeps his RPM not to go like, you know, too high over to the main rev limiter. Then you're supposed to turn that off, and then he picks his, you know, traction control, and then the timing retard, and then the wheelie sensor. He turns that off. Well, he forgot to do all of that, so he left the burnout rev limiter on, which, you know, screwed it up down track. But on the hit, he forgot to turn on the timing retard, so it left on the RPM that we were planning on and the boost that we were planning on, but no timing retard. And we were expecting to do a really big timing retard, and it took it. It hooked it. Tire did exactly what we wanted it to do. And so we were really surprised. So that was good data, at least. We got to see that it could take those settings with no timing retard. So we're going to duplicate that on the next one, but he's going to make sure that he doesn't have the burnout rev limiter on, because what that ended up doing is once he got up into the RPM in first gear, it just held him at 6,800. And the shift point is above 6,800, so it wouldn't even go into second gear. So they had to manually go into second gear, but he was still limited at 6,800, so it just kind of stayed there. But the burnout rev limiter also, you don't need a whole lot of boost to do your burnout, and so it usually takes out all of the boost as well. So he went down on only like 9 PSI. Luckily, the guy that he was racing blew the tires off, couldn't recover, and so Troy was able to go down. So this next pass is going to be that same exact leave, but it'll actually go up into the boost and shift into second gear. Basically add another like 900 horsepower on top of what he did right there. So we think it'll take it. Switching over to the slicks, I'm glad we did. They performed great. And yeah, we'll hope for the best on here.
How about the stage?
So it looks like we got 8 signed up for that big tire second chance race. And now it's looking like we got, what did you say? 14.
They sit.
Just that one.
They just clip back in?
Yeah, they've got a groove in the shaft, and they sit in the shaft.
If you're looking to upgrade tickets, you can still do that.
Is that clip able to actually fall all the way out?
No. Flags are hanging.
No.
But it's like they're almost like too wide, so they're able to come out of that groove?
Maybe.
What about the guys waiting? Hi guys.
So Nick was taking a look at the rockers, because we started using new steel ones because we were breaking the aluminum ones all the time. He's noticing there's a little like lock ring that is on a couple of them, like backing out for some reason.
Good. Yeah, those ones look okay.
Okay. I don't know. They snap back in, but like if it comes out during the pass, then the rocker is able to move around more than we want it to.
Big tire, they're paired up and ready to rock and roll. They're getting suited and booted. all that fun stuff. We're going to bring around the tower. Time to make your way back over here to the grandstand. Put your face in the place or meet the seat. Because it's about time to race.
When they were loose, is it able to actually come off of the valve?
No, not completely.
It'll still do its job though. It'll just a little wobble.
Call the way.
Alright, well hopefully we'll be able to wrap that up and it won't be an issue. Yeah. He said we'll be alright. Grab the scramble.
I don't know.
Yeah. All right. Well, we got another round win, thankfully. It left like we wanted it to. Like it looked kind of soft. It got a little bit of wheel speed, but the slicks did what we wanted it to do. So.
It got loose like right here.
Yep. I think we'll be safe.
Like, Sush.
Yeah. I think he might have pedaled it once. I'm not sure. Either that or he was in and out of the scramble. I don't know, but. Dude, people are.
That was
yeah. People are moving now.
Yeah, they are. I wonder if he knows if he won.
He probably doesn't.
We should totally act like he lost.
Yeah, be like, hey, it was a good effort, man.
Thanks for showing up.
Yeah. It's all right. We'll make adjustments. Be all right.
He's not holding his hands up.
We're gonna get up there.
Yeah, he don't know. He don't know. Well, actually, he probably feels like he won. There they are.
Yo!
Did you?
Said this motherfucking car can't no prep.
Did you have the pedal?
Armageddon, Super Bowl, first time, second pass on slicks. Oh, great. Now I gotta bleep.
Great. Now I gotta bleep stuff. Did you have the pedal or no?
No.
Nice. On
No,
and
and
off
I
the
grabbed
button?
scramble too, and then at the end, you know, scramble started getting a little saucy, and I let out scramble.
Perfect. Okay, that's what we saw.
How'd it look?
It looked good. Yeah. Left out
let's
nice.
check the drag
It got a
heat.
little bit of wheel speed right off the hit.
Yeah.
But the slicks did what they do with wheel
Let's
speed.
check the
They came
drag
right
heat.
back around. Oh yeah, come on. Oh dude, yeah. He's the one that
waited. Yeah. And he's like, and pointed to your lane. I was like, bitch, by a bunch.
Yeah. Oh, was it a significant amount?
Huh?
Was it a decent amount?
At least
It looked
we
close
watched
as
both of
hell.
The cars go like
Yeah.
this.
Right, you guys
I
both
was
went
like,
toward each other.
oh.
Yeah.
Ready to
Small
send
tire,
it?
second chance.
We're
Small
ready. Let's
tire,
do this.
second chance. You should be back there in the lane. Small tire, second chance. You should be back there. Daily drivers, True Street. Both of you should be back there as well.
Hey, he wants
I think they put a best in the Raspberry Mustang.
So there you have it. You know, not the result that we wanted. Obviously, we felt like we had a good enough car to win. Surprisingly, you know, having very little no prep time or time with that car on slicks and a bunch of other variables, I felt like we, you know, got our heads wrapped around it pretty quickly. So we were looking forward to, you know, going more rounds. So yeah, it's a little disappointing, despite all of the, you know, issues with the start of that race, you know, getting yelled at again about not getting back quickly enough, even though we got back with, you know, plenty of time. We took about 10 extra seconds, literally about 10 extra seconds to get the car turned off, started back up so that the dash was actually able to, you know, select the switches that we normally select. A little bit irritating, but yeah, I mean, despite that, we still got it to leave really well on that pass. It was the best 60 foot of the weekend, and I think, you know, subsequent passes would have been even faster. We were starting to really get an idea of what we had to do to get mechanical grip that we needed to be competitive, and I think we would have been. Unfortunately, the car went left, and I'm not too sure whether that was debris related or if it was just, you know, bad luck or where we lined them up or what. But I do know Rank actually ended up almost hitting the wall. Actually, two people almost ended up hitting the wall. There's a clip of that right here. And then the guy that we actually raced in that round, he almost hit the wall in that lane as well shortly after. So I don't know. I mean, take that as you will. It seems like there might have been something going on with that lane specifically. Everybody was going left. It'd be one thing if everybody was just getting loose at a certain point, but everybody was going real hard left. And so it's a little bit out of the ordinary, but whatever. Like I said, as far as the process stuff goes, we just need to get, you know, more solid with our, you know, starting line process and everything so that they can start or stop or do whatever, and, you know, we're still able to do our thing quickly. So yeah, we'll work on that. Other than that, I think it's back to a prepped surface, luckily. So the next race that we're going to be doing with both Crabtree's car and Troy's car is going to be Jake Harper's race. I believe Troy has a race already set up with Boosted GT for $1,000. Yeah, anyway, like usual, like, share, subscribe. Yeah, hopefully we'll be back on our at least weekly videos. I got a little bit of footage, kind of, you know, extra footage that I've been taking but haven't made any videos with, so we may do, you know, 2 a week here and there. One more thing before I go though, shipboxsupply.com. If you guys need any lines and fittings, he's got a bunch of stuff on there, tools, anything you need for you know, whether it's fuel system lines or, you know, radiator lines. I think he's got pretty big ones on the site as well. And his stock is growing. You can get a discount if you use our promo code, which is SLOW. So just at checkout, type in the promo code SLOW, and yeah, get a little bit off and you'll help us out. I use a lot of those fittings in Liam. None of them leak. They've had everything from pump gas to ethanol to methanol. And in all sorts of heat ranges. I've actually bought way more expensive fittings and they ended up leaking, and these have not leaked a drop yet. So far so good. We're gonna keep testing them, and you know, I won't promote anything that we don't use and like ourselves. So yeah, head over there and check it out for all of your fuel system and other plumbing needs.